Something you'll notice in AutoCAD Electrical on the ribbon up at the top of the screen is you don't have an output tab like you have in normal generic AutoCAD. Plotting in AutoCAD Electrical is very, very different. Remember, you're plotting information from an AutoCAD Electrical project database. So you've got to make sure that everything is working, all the drawings are saved, and more importantly, the settings are correct and ready to plot. You plot from the project manager, it's this icon here. So if I click on the flyout there, you can see that I can plot the project, I can publish it to web, I can publish it to various portable document formats, such as PDF, DWF, and DWFX. I can also just zip the project up into a zip file and forward it to someone via email if I need to. So let's have a look at plotting the project first. So this is our batch plot. It takes us into a list where we select the drawings to process. So I'm just going to say do all of them, and then I'm going to click on OK. Now obviously you could pick individual ones and then click on OK if you want to. Notice there's the first mention of our section AB001 on Drawing Demo 01 that we set up previously. And there's the subsection section there as well. So you can see that when you start bringing in these section numbers and subsection numbers, they appear against the drawings in any of the lists. So when I click on OK now, I get this dialog box, which looks nothing like the plot dialog box in regular AutoCAD. So we decide on which layout tab to plot, and it's going to be the Model tab. Pick a list from the active drawing. I could go Layout 1 or As Saved. I'm just going to go with the Model tab because that's where everything is. I can also, if I want to, run pre-plot and post-plot command script files. So if you're used to running macros in AutoCAD and you're good at programming, you can potentially include those as well. You then pick your output device name. So you can use a plot configuration, a PC3 file. As soon as you do that, it takes you to the plotters that are available in AutoCAD. So these are the same list that you'd get in the original AutoCAD plot dialog box. So I want them to go to a DWF6 ePlot, let's say. I click on Open, and it adds it to the list there. Detailed plot configuration mode is off. If I click that, you can see that I can set all of the detailed plot settings in here. Things like portrait landscape, plot extents, plot display, and so on. Plot to fit, plot scale. All the sorts of things that you would perhaps set up in a page setup in regular AutoCAD. I'll switch that off for the moment. Optional page setup name, so there might be a page setup I can choose, or I can pick from a page setup list if there is one. Do I want to plot to a file? Now sometimes you do, it depends on how your network is set up for plotting. In the old days you normally sent plots to a PLT file, they went to a plotter room, and there was normally like a dumb terminal next to the plotter, and all the plots went to that dumb terminal and then came out of the plotter. So you can still do that. And also, this is quite an important one. Do you want to plot in normal sequence or in reverse order? Think about that for a moment. If you're going to plot and you've got 10 sheets, you want 10 to come out first, then 9, then 8, so that you've got drawing number 1 on top of the pile. So you might want to plot in reverse order. So you've got the choice of OK or OK in reverse. I'm not going to make any changes there and I'm not going to plot, so I'll click on Cancel. But you get the idea there. It's very different to regular AutoCAD. If I want to go out to, let's say, the web, what'll happen there is it'll ask me where the folder is going to go with the images that I'm plotting. So I can plot out to the regular sorts of images, DWF, JPEG or PNG. They're all web-based. I select what I want, specify a folder where they're going to go, and then I hit OK. And what'll happen then is all those DWFs, JPEGs or PNGs go to that folder, and they can then be utilized on the web. Now what will happen is it will put it into a temporary folder for building. And then what you do is you then go and suck those into your website using whatever tools you might use. I'm not going to do that, so I'll click on Cancel there. And then the third one is Publish to PDF, DWF or DWFX. So again, I can select all of them by clicking on Do All, click on OK, and as you can see, Include when adding sheets, Model tab, Layout tabs. I'm publishing to what type? DWF, DWFX or PDF. Do you want it to be a multi-sheet file or a single sheet file? Substitute TrueType fonts for SHX fonts if there's any in your drawing. And you've got things like bookmarks, hyperlinks, zoom factors. And also the best bit about that, you can run the publish in the background so that you can carry on working while it's publishing to these sheets. I'm not going to do that, so I'll click on cancel there. Last but not least, we've got the zip project option. So if I click on that, I'll get an error. And I know I'll get an error because I haven't set up a default zip program executable. When I zip things up, I normally use something like WinZip, for example. And then you can zip all of those up, but I haven't actually told AutoCAD Electrical where to find that WinZip executable. And that goes into your .env file for this particular project. You would specify it, and then all you've got to do is put a text editor up on the screen, go to the env file, open it up, and you can edit it. So you can see there that I haven't got a zip executable defined. So I've just got to go and find one, make sure it's in the envelope file, or environment file as it's normally known as well. Envelope or environment, it does vary from company to company, project to project. So that's how you do your batch plotting in lots of different ways in AutoCAD Electrical.